Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Vrindavan. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Giranagridha. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Giranagridha. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Giranagridha. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Giranagridha. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai 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 Giranagridha. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe. Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam. Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shyam. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Hare Krishna, what a wonderful start. It was the last Kirtan of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami. This is Shravana Devi Dasi. Please accept my humble obeisances. I welcome all of you to continue the celebration of the Disappearance Day of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. I appreciate each and everyone's presence for this event. Okay. Before starting the event, let us inform you that we are available in Hindi language, Portuguese language, and Spanish languages today. So devotees can enjoy watching this event in their preferred languages. To select your language channel, do watch this video on your screen.
Hare Krishna, queridos devotos, reverências, todas as glórias a Srila Prabhupada. Hoje teremos interpretação simultânea para a língua portuguesa. Se você desejar ouvir em português e estiver no computador, clique no ícone do globo no canto inferior direito da sua tela. Em seguida, selecione o idioma português. Para os usuários de celular, clique no ícone mais, depois no ícone do globo e em seguida escolha o canal de português. muito obrigada. हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्णा। आज हिंदी भाषा में अनुवाद की सुविधा उपलब्ध है। अपने कंप्यूटर पर हिंदी इंटरप्रिटेशन चैनल तक पहुंचने के लिए कृपया अपनी स्क्रीन के निचले दाएं कोने में ग्लोब आइकन पर क्लिक करें। इसके बाद हिंदी चैनल पर क्लिक करें। मोबाइल उपयोगकर्ताओं के लिए अधिक आइकन पर क्लिक करें, फिर भाषा व्याख्या के लिए ग्लोब आइकन पर और हिंदी चैनल का चयन करें। आपको धन्यवाद। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna, queridos devotos, reverencias, todas las glorias a Srila Prabhupada. Hoy tendremos interpretación simultánea al español. Si quieres escuchar en español y estás en tu computadora, haz clic en el icono del globo terráqueo en la esquina inferior derecha de tu pantalla. Luego, selecciona español como idioma. Para usuarios de dispositivos móviles, haz clic en el icono más, luego en el icono del globo terráqueo, luego selecciona español como idioma. Muchas gracias. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Tech Team, for this language interpretation video. Now the devotees we can select their preferred languages and can enjoy watching the entire event. Just a quick announcement, if devotees have any trouble selecting the language channel, you can write to Ask My Servant in your chat box. They are available for your assistance. Now, without wasting further time, we'll quickly go through today's schedule. To start with today's schedule, we have His Grace Bhuta Bhavana Prabhu. He will present his offering, and then we'll have a special quiz video, and followed by offering from His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami. And post that, we'll have a video presentation of Samadhi Darshan from Ghana. And post that, we have offerings from devotees. So let's go through this session. Let's enjoy the session. To begin the session, I would like to seek permission and blessings from our beloved Gurudeva, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami.
Hare Krishna, please continue.
Thank you, Gurudev. I would like to call upon Ramapriya Prabhu, Head Pujari of ISKCON Lagos, to offer garland to Srila Gurudev.
Hare Krishna, so this Param offering from Sri Shamasundara, and we are offering it offering of love for His Holiness of Damodara Swami.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for a lovely garland. Now, I would like to call upon Pranav Prabhu to offer virtual garland to Srila Gurudev.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept this garland from Srila Prabhupada ISKCON Nairobi.
Hare, thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the lovely garland. Now I would request His Grace Nitai Chaitanya Das, Sara Mataji, and Aulichi Mataji to offer garland to Param Gurudev.
Yeah, muted, cannot hear you.
Hare Krishna. So I want to offer this garland. Use all my obeisances. Hare Krishna.
Thank all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji and Mataji, for the lovely garland. Now we will move on to our session with the first speaker, His Grace Bhuta Bhavana Das. His Grace Bhuta Bhavana Das was introduced to Krishna consciousness in the mid-90s at the Sri Sri Radha Londoneshwari Temple, where he studied philosophy and economics at the London School of Economics. Since then, he has pioneered various services in the UK and globally. He was one of the main leaders in establishing the UK Devotee Youth Group, leading successful university program preaching Krishna consciousness. He gives lectures at temples and speaks at various prestigious universities. He established the UK's first youth mentorship system and pioneered retreat programs in Mayapur Dham. By profession, he works for a leading global company, coaching and training managers in leadership development. His areas of focus include presenting the deep and vastly transformative tradition of Krishna Bhakti, showing how it can be lived and applied practically in social and personal life. His conviction is that the practical application of Krishna Bhakti is essential. The impact of the application builds faith, confidence, and creates lasting social and personal results favorable to, to the spreading of Krishna Bhakti while also developing our own devotion to Krishna. We welcome Prabhuji Bhuta Bhavana Das. And now I would like His Grace Kamita Prabhu to offer garland to His Grace Bhuta Bhavana Das.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanma Pranams, please accept my humble obeisances. Please, with a humble heart, I'd like to offer you this galan from Sri Sri Radha Banki Bihari here in Nairobi. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamita Prabhu, for the garland. And now I would request His Grace Bhuta Bhavana Das to give his offering.
Thank you so much. This is a humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. All glories to His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj. I wanted to say how grateful I am to be here with all of you in this really wonderful, auspicious celebration. And there's a few words I just wanted to say in offering. But I'll just say first a quick prayer. Magyana Timirandasya, Gyananjana Shalakaya, Chekshu Omilitamina, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudhi Gaura Bhaktavinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhuntale, Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Eti Namane, Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shritatmane, Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Eti Namane. So first of all, I want to take permission from His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Damodara Maharaj and all the devotees. By their great kindness and mercy, we can be here to speak something in glorification of our beloved Gurudev Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. So Maharaj, I beg your permission, and thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. So I was meditating what would I share? You know, what could I offer by words, you know, to give some expression to the heart. And I was thinking, a theme came to me when I was praying. And the theme was, what would Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj be doing if he was here today amongst us? Well, that could be an interesting theme. And when I meditated on this, there were 4 key ingredients that came to mind. And so we wanted to share an offering. And the offering is all about the importance of keeping our cup full. And when we say cup, we mean 4 things. C stands for compassion. U stands for unity. P stands for practical. And the last P stands for protective. So what would Srila Gurudev be doing if he was here amongst us today? So the first C, compassion. I know that many of us will have read his books, heard his classes. I know Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj and others would have had so much personal association with Srila Gurudev. And I saw personally how he was so driven by compassion. There's different types of compassion. Some compassion is there for the externals. So sometimes when we read the newspapers, when we see the television, we hear about people going through difficulties. We hear about people going through challenges. And of course, we should feel for that. Well, what I saw is that Gurudev's compassion was extensive. He recognized that as long as we're in this world and as long as we're in worldly consciousness, we would always be shaken by the waves of change in the world. And so I saw in Gurudev a personality who was driven by compassion, Some people are compassionate, but they're not driven. Some people are driven, but they're not compassionate. It's rare to see someone who is driven by compassion. I was personally with Guru Maharaj in 2004. Before he was diagnosed with cancer, we went to see a doctor. And the group of us, we'd left behind some kind of medical document. So we got to the doctors and then we realized that we had left this document behind. And it was such an intense experience because I saw Guru Maharaj's intense desire not to waste even a second. And I remember he was upset because someone would have to drive back to where he was staying to pick up the document that needed to be passed on to the doctor. So in the world that we live in right now, what we see that there is so much disturbance of the mind, disturbance socially, nationally, physically. When I remember Guru Maharaj, I think of someone who had extensive compassion. We were with him in Detroit and he was talking about how he had come from Ram Rath Yatra. And he mentioned how there was someone in the Rath Yatra there who was quite negative towards him. Who had the negative feelings towards Guru Maharaj. And he said something which it just struck me. He said, the next time I see this person, I will apologize to this person. And he said, because the offenses this person is making to me and to others is going to damage their spiritual life. So I will apologize to them in order to compassionately help them to make a shift in their consciousness. So I saw in Gurudev someone who had, it was otherworldly. It was beyond logical, beyond rational, such a profound sense of compassion that he was ready to adjust and arrange things just for the well-being of another person. So the first C in the offering is this transcendental driving compassion that I saw in his character, in the way he used time, because he saw it was always an emergency, and he saw that whatever he's doing, if he does it properly, it will actually help so many others who are suffering to be pulled out of the ocean of samsara, out of the ocean of material suffering. The U stands for unity. What would Srila Gurudev be doing if he was here today? I know that Gurudev was very conscious of the world situation. When we look at the world situations right now, we see, and it's been going on for years, increasing polarization, isn't it? There's polarization between races. There's polarization between genders. There's polarization between people of different orientations. There's polarization between people of different nationalities. There's polarization between people of different generational age groups, etc. And one of the things that Guru Maharaj emphasized, especially as he was preparing to leave the world, was unity. And he was such a powerful example of unity with diversity. I was having a very wonderful conversation with some friends in Berlin, which is where I am now. And we were talking about this. We were talking about the importance of being authentic, being our authentic selves in Krishna consciousness. And when I look at Gurudev, I saw that he very much embodied this. Someone who was a true team player, really building community, building unity. And at the same time, while dealing with the many, and he spoke about this many times, while dealing with the many, he did not forget about the one. So if he was here, along with this extensive mood of compassion and inspiring compassion with everyone, he would also be inspiring unity, but not a false kind of unity, not the unity where I talk about unity, but I really want you to change. But the real type of unity, the lasting type of unity, where you are being your authentic self in a genuinely Krishna conscious way. And so, and because it's genuine, healthy, and Krishna conscious, you can sustain it. And you are also While being yourself in Krishna consciousness, you're making genuine room for others to be a healthy, authentic version of themselves in Krishna consciousness as well. Why is this so important? The reason why it's so important, it was such a powerful experience of this. Guru Maharaj told me once, he mentioned that he has this particular god brother. He said, this god brother and I, he said, we can hardly agree on anything. He told me that. He said, we can hardly agree on anything. He said, but I respect him like anything, because I respect how it takes different types of generals to win a war. And that really touched me, because I saw in his expression and behavior and sharing such a mature sense of unity with diversity. He wasn't expecting everyone to be like him. He wasn't going to let them push him around to just be like them, but he was expecting that we would all try to be ourselves authentically in Krishna's service. A genuine, healthy, authentic version of ourselves in Krishna's service. So the first C was really a deep driving compassion. The U stands for unity. The P, when I was thinking about this third point, this idea that Guru Maharaj was really, really interested in practical application. I can honestly say that for over a decade now, it's become increasingly clear to me that one of the most hidden traps of Maya is the way that devotees can have such a powerful philosophy, but have such a poor understanding of how the philosophy applies to us. You know, so Guru Maharaj inaugurated IFAS, the Institute for Applied Spiritual Technology, applied. Because being such a visionary, it is my conviction that what he saw was that we have so much philosophy, but if we're not careful, if we don't have the proper understanding, we will misapply the philosophy. And then what happens? When I misapply the philosophy, and then life becomes difficult, challenging, impractical, unless I'm very mature, or unless I have good association, I will come to the wrong conclusion. There's two conclusions we can reach when things don't go so well in our Krishna consciousness. Conclusion number one, that there's something wrong with my application. I'm not applying this properly. But without training, I really believe Guru Maharaj saw that we would often fall to the wrong conclusion. Conclusion number two is that this philosophy doesn't work. This Krishna consciousness is impractical. There's no way that someone can be expected to live like this. It just doesn't work in the modern day. So compassion, unity, practical. I really feel that one of Guru Maharaj's gifts was the ability to show us not just the philosophy as it truly is, but how we can practically apply the philosophy in our day-to-day lives. So he was compassionate, he emphasized unity, he showed us how to apply the teachings practically. And then the last P, so C-U, P, and the last P was protective. The last P was protective. And this one really stands out to me. This really stands out to me. In the modern world that we are in, because as devotees, we often, we interface with the outside world. We're affected by the outside world. In a world where people are so stressed and so busy, and life can be so challenging, it's very easy to grow up in an environment where we're not protected. And what happens when an individual, a group, or a community do not feel protected? When we don't feel protected, we don't feel valued. Why do I say that? The reason why I say that is because you only protect something if you value it. So Gurudeva was extraordinarily protective, really emphasizing the protection of women, the protection of children, that the need for them to genuinely be shown how much gratitude we have for them, how much we owe them, how much we appreciate them. And we know from the scripture that in any society, women, children, cows, brahmanas, the elderly, when they're not protected, we know that there'll be reactions in that society, because we know this from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So I saw that Gurudev, with his compassion, with his unity, with his practicality, he was also protective. And that protection was like a glue that bound our communities together. Because when we feel protected, we feel valued. When we feel valued, we feel secure. And because we feel secure, we can give each other the benefit of the doubt. Right now, we have the modern world where no
Hare Krishna. There was some technical glitch. I think Prabhu will be joining back shortly. Meantime,
Is it from his side or from our technical team?
Prabhuji disconnected, got dropped.
Okay.
till the time Prabhuji joins back, we'll move on to lamp offering. I would request Maria Fernanda and Fabrico Prabhu, Pran Priya Devidasi Mataji, Raga Manjiri Mataji, Nitai Chaitanya Das and family, Chitraketu Putra Das, to offer lamps to Param Gurudev. Thank you everyone for the lamp offering. Now I would request His Grace Bhuta Bhavana Das to continue his offering.
Hare Krishna. So my apologies, we had a slight technical disconnect. But the key thing I wanted to do was to bring this to a close. So if Gurudev was here, he would be emphasizing that compassion, the sea. He'll be emphasizing the unity, really helping to bring about a unity that lasts, which means unity, healthy unity with healthy diversity, because that's a reality. He would be emphasizing how to practically apply the philosophy, applying it properly so we see that it does work, it does help us, it does add value to our lives. And last but not least, protective. Because when devotees feel protected, they feel valued. When they feel valued, they feel secure. Much of the challenges we're seeing in the modern world, where people can become very offended and also very hurt by things, sometimes with good intention, but sometimes where intention hasn't been good, it has a lot to do with how secure we feel within ourselves. So that last P stands for protective. So when I think about Gurudev and his offering, I think if he was here, he would really be inspiring all of us as devotees to keep our cup full, to keep our cup full. See that cup of compassion full. The cup of unity with diversity, where we respect differences in a healthy and genuinely Krishna conscious way. Keep the unity full. Practicality, the cup of practicality, how to apply the philosophy properly according to our situation, along with, of course, the universals, the hearing, the chanting. And the last one, protective, being each other's brother and sister, really protecting, supporting each other, valuing each other to inspire us in our journey towards Krishna consciousness. So I believe that if Guru Maharaj was here, these would be things that he would emphasize, except one thing. Guru Maharaj is still here. It is my conviction that Guru Maharaj is still here. And he is still working through anyone and everyone who is open to be used as an instrument of that compassion. So on this wonderful Disappearance Day, I just wanted to remind myself of some of these very blissful, affectionate, and transcendental qualities of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, to share that hopefully in an offering to him, in an offering to his Srila Prabhupada, to our Srila Prabhupada, by reminding each other what he stood for and the blissful, ecstatic, and dynamic spiritual life that comes when we live by these ideals. So thank you so much for allowing us to share. Please pray for us that we can fully align with those values, with the mission of our spiritual master. And thank you for all being here in unity as we come together to celebrate Srila Gurudev, and of course, celebrating such a wonderful example of his teachings in the personage and the character of His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, His Grace Bhuta
Krishna
Bhavana.
Prabhu, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wonderful offense. Yes, we pray that we continue to live together to appreciate Gurudev's compassion, his unity, his practical and protective device he has given to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for everything. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your heartfelt offering. Indeed, these 4 key points of compassion, unity, practical application, and protective, we have seen that in Param Gurudev, and of course in our Gurudev too. So, and we all disciples will start implementing these things in our life. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So now it's the quiz time, the most awaited quiz time. So we will show you a sweet video presentation by Nairobi Yatra. Based on the video, we will ask you questions. So you need to watch the video carefully. So let's see the Nairobi presentation. I request the tech team to show the Nairobi Yatra quiz drama.
What follows is the transcendental pastime of who we now know as His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, or as he was previously known, Mr. John Favors. John Favors' first interaction with the devotees. He was on his way to Harvard to watch a game on a chilly winter day. When he saw the devotees dancing up and down, this is what ran through his mind. Oh my God! What on earth are these people doing? Aren't they feeling cold? What is this on their faces? Surely, what are they actually doing out here? Moments later, John Favors made his way back to Princeton, and he still found the devotees out there. He thought to himself, no way, they're still out here in this freezing cold. I can barely stand out here for 5 or 10 minutes without running for cover, and they're here dancing and jumping so ecstatically. These people must be special. They are either insane or extremely determined. I don't know. Thereafter, John Favors' interest for Eastern spirituality grew more and more, and it is said that he kept going here and there from this guru and that guru, taking initiation in search of a real guru. He finally came upon Sri Chinmoy.
And when you want to develop a relationship with that same God, you have to understand God comes in many different ways. The highest truth, in one sense, is basically to understand that man and God are inseparable. Man is just an unrealized God, and God is just an unmanifested man. Now, one may ask how you develop relationship with God. But God is...
He would soon make his way back to Cleveland, his hometown, where his spiritual mentor resided. He was extremely excited to tell him about this new guru he had found, whom he had taken initiation from. Let us see what Swami would say. So, John, tell me, how's Princeton?
Yeah, Princeton was quite an adventure.
Yeah?
Yeah, and the most interesting part, I got initiation.
You got a guru?
Yeah, I have a guru. You know Sri Chinmoy?
Yes, I know Sri Chinmoy.
Yeah. The Jagat Guru, Sri Chinmoy. Yeah, it's such a blissful experience.
Sri Chinmoy, he only has little impersonal realization. And his position is not that of Jagat Guru. His position is not that of much importance. He is not your real guru, and neither am I. But Sri Chinmoy, I can tell you now, he's not the one who will lead you. You were talking about Jagat Guru. So now I ask you, do you really want to know who the Jagat Guru is?
Well, I mean, if Sri Chinmoy is not Jagat Guru, then who is?
Do you really want to know who Jagat Guru is?
I have nothing better in my life.
Are you sure you really want to know?
Yes,
Okay. No, I only ask you repeatedly because once you know this truth, you'll have to make a very big decision and you might have to change your whole life. So I'll tell you now who the Jagat Guru is. The Jagat Guru is the spiritual master of the Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada.
You mean those people who I saw wearing bed sheets and dancing like madmen on the streets?
Yes.
No way.
Yes, exactly them. Their spiritual master is the real Jagat Guru. He is the one who will guide you. I've always told you that I am not the real Guru, and I can tell you for a fact that he is the real Guru. Now enter Eva Coleman, John's fiancée at the time. He says she was a very powerful yogi. She was a yoga instructor and quite psychic at that. She was a follower of Sri Chinmoy and also was in contact with Sai Baba.
Tell me about it.
You're going to separate and you're going to renounce the whole world and me included.
And how does that make
I think this is what is best for us. This is the sacrifice we need to make so that we attain consciousness. Something for you.
What's this?
That's an album from the Hare Krishna Guru.
Bhakti Tirtha. Thank you so much.
As His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj listened to this album by Srila Prabhupada, it moved him so deeply. He thought to
This
himself,
transcendental vibration by
but this
chanting
voice,
of
this
Hare
voice,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
where have I
Krishna,
had it
Hare
before?
Hare, Hare Rama,
I
Hare
feel like
Rama,
I've been
Rama
hearing
Rama,
this
Hare
voice
Hare
through many
is the
thousands of
sublime
lifetimes.
method for reviving
This
our
voice,
Krishna consciousness.
it soothes
As
my
living
soul.
spiritual
It
soul,
resonates so
we are
deeply
all
within me.
originally Krishna conscious
This
entities
This
that
is
due
Srila
to
Prabhupada.
our association
What have
with
I been
matter
doing
from
all these
time
years
in
with my
memory,
life?
our consciousness
Who
is
have I
now
been going to?
polluted by material atmosphere.
This is
In
the
this
real
polluted
Jagat Guru,
concept of life,
Srila
we are
Prabhupada.
all trying to exploit
Please,
the resources of material
please,
nature,
Prabhupada,
but actually
accept
we are
me as your
becoming
servant.
more and more
I beg you,
entangled
please,
in our complexities.
please
This illusion
accept
is
me
called Maya,
as your
our
servant,
hard struggle for
Prabhupada.
existence, for winning over.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnava Vangsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathannitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitansham.
Thank you, Nairobi Yatra, for presenting such a beautiful video showing how His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj met Srila Prabhupada. So now we will ask you questions based on this video. On your screen, you will see 4 options of answers and a poll will appear on your screen. So you need to select the correct answer and the fastest selection of answer. So devotees who select the answers very quickly, they can be the winner of this quiz. So let's start with our question number 1. Where was John Favors, Sri Srimad Bhakti Tirtha Swami, studying when he first saw the devotees dancing? A. Princeton University. Option B. University of Washington. Option C. University of Brooklyn. Option D. Harvard University. Now a poll will appear on your screen. You need to select the correct option. Is it option A, option B, option C, or option D? So request devotees to select the correct option. I hope everybody has seen the video carefully. Now, the correct option is A, Princeton University. I congratulate all the devotees who have selected the correct option. We would like to continue with question 2. What did John Favors think about the devotees when he saw them first? Option A, either these people are making a fool of themselves or of the others dancing with them. Option B, these people seem to have great yogic powers. Option C, either these people are extremely crazy or they have something incredibly deep. Option D, these people look like roadside hippies. A poll will appear and you need to select the correct option. It's just a 15-second poll. So please select the correct option. And the correct option is option C. Either these people are extremely crazy or they have something incredibly deep. Congratulations once again for the devotees who have selected the correct answer. At this time in 1970 or 1971, I had been attending Princeton and was on my way to a game at Harvard. After returning several hours later after the game, I noticed the devotees still chanting on the same street corner and thought that these people were either extremely crazy or had something incredibly deep. Their determination was impressive. I remember my exact thought. This is the epitome of absurdity. And yet I sensed that it was more than absurd. It was complete dedication. I could barely tolerate the outside temperature for 5 or 10 minutes before running into a building or car for some heat. Despite the cold, they just kept chanting, dancing, and even jumping. Just from their appearance, I could observe something very unusual and special. From the Black Lotus, Chapter 3, the epitome of absurdity. Let's move to question 3. Who did John's mentor consider the real Jagat Guru? Option A, Sri Chinmay Swami. Option B, Srila Prabhupada. Option C, Sri Ramanujacharya. Option D, Sri Swami Sachidananda. A poll will appear on your screen. Select the correct answer. And I hope all devotees knows this answer. It's a very simple one. You need to be really fast. And the correct answer is option B, Srila Prabhupada. I hope everybody has got this correct answer. I congratulate everyone for this. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami, he asked one last time, do you really want to know? With all seniority, I said yes. He finally answered, the spiritual master of Hare Krishna movement, Srila Prabhupada. He is the real Jagat Guru. What? I asked incredulously. You're referring to those people who wear bed sheets and jump up and down in the streets with strange looking paint on their faces? I immediately remembered the first time I saw them chanting in Boston in the cold. I questioned him. You mean that they have deep philosophy and special spiritual mentor? He answered in this affirmative. He explained Srila Prabhupada's position as the spiritual master of spiritual masters. He then further explained, when Prabhupada came to the West, the many other spiritual leaders who knew something of his level of excellence and position should have assisted him in his mission. I have always told that I am not your guru because I am not. You're supposed to be involved in bhakti, devotion to Krishna, as taught by Prabhupada. Still, everything I've shown you will help in future with the work you will have to do. Let's move to question number 4. John Favors decided to dedicate himself to Srila Prabhupada after listening to a tape. What was the content of the tape? Option A, Srila Prabhupada was explaining about the ISKCON Society's mission. Option B, Srila Prabhupada was chanting and explaining the meaning of the Mahamantra. Option C, Srila Prabhupada was explaining the creation of the universe. Option D, Srila Prabhupada was explaining the 10 offenses against the holy name. And a poll will appear on your screen and you need to be fast in selecting your answer. I hope devotees are selecting the correct answer. And the correct answer is option B. Srila Prabhupada was chanting and explaining the meaning of the Mahamantra. There is another story involving Eva Coleman, in which she was the immediate catalyst for John's entry into Krishna consciousness. If Norman Anderson gave him verbal disapproval of Sri Chinmaya and pointed him in the direction of Prabhupada and Krishna, Eva gave him something tangible that would change his life forever. It came in the form of vinyl. It was a record album called Happening, in which Prabhupada chants the Mahamantra and explains its meaning for the benefit of his listeners. Eva had purchased the album during one of their jaunts to the Henry Street Temple, and she thought her mate might get more out of it than she did. John listened to the recording carefully. As he heard Prabhupada's voice, it stirred something deep inside. It was strangely familiar, as if he had known it for many lifetimes. He felt a connection to Prabhupada that was inexplicable, and he started to weep. He and Eva looked at each other one last time and went their separate ways. From the Black Lotus, chapter 4, End of Romance. We will be announcing the result of the quiz at the end of the session. Now, moving forward, I would like to call upon our beloved Gurudeva, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami, to kindly share his words. But before that, I have seen so many new devotees, new aspiring devotees. So I would like to give a quick short introduction of Srila Gurudev. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami is a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami and has been serving in ISKCON since the 80s. He is the first African sannyasi and Diksha Guru in ISKCON. He regularly teaches the Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav courses at Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education and at the Mayapur Institute, and facilitates numerous seminars on the practical aspects of Krishna consciousness philosophy, such as community building, self-sufficiency, etc. He has also authored a book, Spiritual Connection, Understanding the Dynamics of Guru-Disciple Relationship, to help devotees to take the next step in his spiritual journey. He tours and preaches extensively in Brazil, India, Mauritius, Seychelles, the United States, and in different countries in Africa to deliver the message of Krishna consciousness. Following the desire of his spiritual master, Bhakti Tirtha Damodara Swami is also developing vibrant Krishna conscious, self-sustainable farm communities in Ghana and Nigeria, Africa. Maharaj is known for his humility, gravity, and deep knowledge of the scriptures, being a perfect example of living his Guru's legacy. I would like Maharaj Gurudev to speak, give his offering. Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnu Padya Krishna Pisaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Chinamana Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shri Chadmane Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Chinamana Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pisaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Chinamana Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaura Vani Pucha Namaste Sasanga Vadi Pastachadi Satani Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshulanamitam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Sapitam Jana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Vedati Swapada Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. This morning we are talking about Gurudev for 1 hour. The memories we have had with him. And we'll continue to share because he has unlimited qualities one cannot finish. Enumerating all his qualities. So this morning there was a video showing how Gurudev used to take us to Badagry Beach. Every year he does this. In the New Year day, we go to Lekki Beach, and Christmas we go to Badagry Beach. There are 2 beaches we used to go. Of course, we have also been to Takwa Beach. That one is rare. We went only a few times. Takwa Beach was a few times. But Badagry Beach and Lekki, Gurudev does take us every year. So he will get a very big, luxurious bus. They will take a lot of devotees. So it's one of the festivals that he introduced and we celebrate every year. So I observed something that he does every year. At the beach, he will have a lecture. Then devotee will take prasadam. Then devotee will play different sport, football, swimming, another spot. But there is one play which Gurudev does every year. It took me a long time to understand what he was doing. It's an exercise, but it has a lot of teachings, which I got to realize after many years. He takes pleasure in swimming. When he put on his shorts, he would run, Ganga Mikey, he would jump into the sea, and he swim there with the devotees. So he's going to swimming with the consciousness of Ganga. Another devotee will run behind him. Nobody catches him. He's run very fast. He has a lot of strength, but a physical and spiritual strength. Ganga Moiki, he will jump into the sea, and we swim. After swimming for some time, then Gurudev come back and gather all the devotees together. Not all, some of it, because I don't play. I always watch. Maybe that's why I was able to understand the lesson he was teaching in this game. You get some devotees, 10 in the front, 10 behind. This sport he does every year. 10 devotees in the front, and then 10 devotees behind. And like two pools away, another devotee stand there, and you draw a line, and you stand there. He's the referee. The devotees from behind, you hold the feet of the devotees in the front. Hold the feet for the devotees in the front. And the devotees in the front run with the hands. Not with legs, run with the hands. Gurudev will hold the devotee who is most lazy in the group. You hold the one that is lazy. And the referee will blow the whistle. Everybody will start to run with the hand. We will run with the hand. It's not easy to run with hand. You can run, run with the leg. It's a big exercise, but running with hand, I don't know. It's not an easy exercise. It's a very heavy yoga exercise, which even Chinmaya Badi Yogi, I don't know how long he will do that. So Gurudev will hold the one that is lazy, and everybody will run. Even when the devotee doesn't have strength again to run, and even his mouth is on the ground, Gurudev will not leave it. He will hold the feet. Go on, go on, go on. The devotee is tired, but go on. Continue. He will push this devotee until he will get to the target. He will not leave the devotee. I watched this exercise for many years. It didn't make any sense to me. After a long time, then the realization came. Bona fide representatives of Krishna, the pure devotees, they never give up on their devotees. No matter how lazy the devotee is, their duty is to push us till the end. We hear philosophy, but our philosophy needs to be practically addressed so we can understand it. We hear that the guru will come back to the disciple who has not made it to Godhead. So Gurudeva is teaching us practically that it is true. Holding the devotee and pushing the devotee, once you have accepted the responsibility of someone, it is our duty to make sure we take care. This is a proof on the scripture. All of you know the half moon on Lord Shiva's head. The half moon on Lord Shiva's head. The moon god married Daksha's daughters. But Shiva married one, the remaining one, the moon god married them. We cannot imitate Krishna. If you imitate Krishna, you will suffer. Anyone who imitates Krishna must suffer. That's why we're all suffering in this material world, because we are trying to take Krishna's position. We must suffer. And Prabhupada said we should know why we are suffering, because we are trying to imitate Krishna. So there's suffering. So the moon god, he married many wives, but he does not have many forms like Krishna. So he couldn't keep up with all the wives. He was only with one. So the remaining sisters, they are all sisters. They went back to Daksha and complained, our husband does not take care of us. He is not with us. He never had this association. So Daksha came to Lord Shiva, the moon god, and warned him, take care of my daughters. But he was attached to one, so he couldn't listen, so he couldn't do anything. So Daksha cursed him. You become invalid. So half of the moon became sick. The half was complete. So the moon god went to Lord Shiva and reported what has happened to him. So Lord Shiva said, stay here with me, I'll protect you. So the moon god was staying there with Lord Shiva. So the ladies went back to Daksha and reported, before our husband was in the house with us, but he doesn't have to take care of us. But now, it's no more to be seen. So we don't know where he is. So Daksha started searching for moon god until he found him with Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is one person that Daksha hated the most. So he threatened Lord Shiva. He told my son-in-law, otherwise I'll curse you also. Lord Shiva said, oh, hell with that curse. A person who have taken my shelter, I don't have power to give him up. So I cannot. That is the message. A person who has taken my shelter, I cannot give up that person. So, a true representative of Krishna has this quality. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha has this quality. All of us who have been with him can see that he never gave up on all of us. Even though we failed him many times and did so many nonsense things, he never gave up. Even sometimes he gets angry and I will not come here again. The next minute he's smiling. I love you very much. You see? That's a father. The father chastised the disciple, the children, for correction, for rectification. Because every father wants to see that the children are the best. And for that purpose, they will take several means, several measures to make sure they give the proper training, proper guidance, so that the children become proper. His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj has this perfect quality, and he demonstrated this quality throughout his physical presence until tomorrow. That is the quality of pure devotion. So Lord Shiva said, I cannot give up on a person who has taken my shelter. So Daksha was about to curse Lord Shiva. Lord Vishnu came and he said, Shiva, give him back, his son-in-law. Don't waste your time with this man. It's not just disturb your necessary. Lord Shiva said, you give up your disciple. You give up your disciple. You gave us assignment. You want me to violate it? So Lord Vishnu said, no, I will not teach you wrong thing. So what to do? He's already half sick. Take the sick one, give to him. You can keep the healthy one. That's why she have one on Shiva's head. So His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj is very, very ethical. Very, very, very ethical. His activities are in the scripture. Approved. All his activities are approved in the scripture. Our chariots. So following that, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he glorified Murari Gupta. When Murari Gupta was told to stop worshipping Sitaram and worship Radha Shyamasundar, Murari Gupta said, I cannot do it. So, and I know you are the Supreme God, give me permission to commit suicide. Sita Mahaprabhu was so happy. He embraced him and glorified him. Glory is that disciple who cannot give up the shelf, his guru, our guru. And all glories to that guru who will never abandon the disciple. And even if he falls down, the guru will go there and drag the person by the shikha and bring him or her back. But Chaitanya Maharaj demonstrated this quality. That is, I'll be repeating my word. That is why we accepted him as our guru, not because he's black like us. The reason why I accepted him as my spiritual master is these qualities I have seen that attracted the heart, not the black. It was not material. I was accepting him as our guru is spiritual. So he would never leave the disciple. He will push the devotee until he gets to the last one. It doesn't matter when he gets there. That is not the issue. The issue is that he must get to the end. He will push until you get to the end. He never abandoned us. My own practical life in under his shelter. Here in Nigeria, he has preached Christian consciousness and established many temples all over West Africa. Many. In Nigeria alone, we have 9 temples. In Ghana, we have 5 or 6. And we have in Liberia, we have in Sierra Leone, we have in Zambia, we have in Cote d'Ivoire, we have in Ghana, we have in Togo, we have in Benin Republic, we have in Nigeria, we have in Zimbabwe. He he expanded Krishna consciousness to all these places. And he met with all the leaders in all these countries, all the leaders, the president. His Holiness Baptista Maharaj met with all of them many times and preached to them how to build a nation, the consequences of a leader not meeting up with his responsibility. It is after many years of preaching and teaching the leaders that he wrote his book, Leadership on Age of Higher Consciousness. He wrote the book after many years of cultivating the leaders. And yesterday we were hearing properly Lamrita. Saswara Maharaj asked Prabhupada that he was sharing that Prabhupada, I was sharing that you have been saying that ISKCON should extend up to managing the United Nations. So Rameshwar, Saswara Maharaj said, Prabhupada, how is that? How is that? Prabhupada said, the fire has already started. You just have to keep preaching and distribute books. He heard the Bhakti Maharaj, he won the heart of his guru by the risk he took in distributing the proper books. And not only that, he was the devotee representing the whole Vaishnava community. He's black, was the only one representing the whole Vaishnava community. I don't mean only ISKCON, the whole Vaishnava community, who was going to United Nations Organization meeting for years, fulfilling the prediction of his guru. That is a disciple. A disciple is a living testimony of his guru. For years, he was going to United Nations Organization to represent ISKCON. That is why you see the dress, you see his dress, this is this dress he was using to United Nations Organization. And you see the tilak on his face there. You see his neck bead is there. You see his Brahman thread is there. And he keeps his principle. He dressed like this only when he's going to these places for preaching, but not in the Hare-Krishna temple. You never see him like this in Hare-Krishna temple. And he's a stylish personality, stylish, very, very stylish. He said, I'll live my life in style, and I will also die in style. And he left the body in style. Yes. You see, anywhere he's going for his preaching, he will dress according to that occasion. He never dressed the same. Because when he gets there, he can give him a topic. Gurudeva, we should discuss this topic in this gathering. When he gets there, he look at the audience, he will change the topic. He's going to speak. This morning, we were saying that he knows everybody. He knows the heart of everybody. He knows what everybody thinks. And he responds like that. That is why he was able to get us. When he gets to the audience, he will look at the audience. Immediately, he will know these people are very, very frustrated. They're not having a good pay. They're not having a good leadership. They are frustrated. They are tied up. You look at the face is tied up. He will change the topic. Why? Buddha Bhavan Prabhu was speaking about Gurudeva's compassion. And this morning we started our glorification from compassion. And Buddha Bhavan also was talking about compassion. Gurudeva's compassion. What is compassion? He wants to make sure he has come to address their difficulties, not speaking philosophy. What is philosophy if it does not address the problem? What is the use of a philosophy? He does not just speak philosophy, empty philosophy that does not help people's situation. When he sees this is the problem of the people, he will speak exactly the thing that are disturbing the people. He will address it, and you see, people also will respond by identifying with him and ask their questions. We heard from Srinivas Vanachari this morning. And he went to speak to the police officers. And after speaking, the commissioner of police said, I want to speak with him privately. Why that? Because he has won the man's heart by his presentation. He wants the man's heart. The man has confidence that this person can help me. So he calls him privately. I don't want. He has given the general thing. Now I want my privacy with him. And he took him to a different place. So locked the door. Not of fighting. Because this person can help me. This person can help me. So let me reveal myself. This is what Bhakti Swami said. You must win the heart of people to be able to give you their confidence. His Holiness Bhakti Maharaja has this quality. We saw this with our eyes. And I'm repeating, that is why we gave our life to him. I have seen how he protected me till as I'm talking, the protection he has given to me. I'm not talking about other people. Personally, my personal experience with him, the protection he has given to me while he was here. My temple president did not recommend me for initiation. After 3 years, I was not recommended for initiation. The list of the candidate for initiation was on the board. When I was going to the temple room and I look at the board, I look at the list, my name was last on the list. And it was written on Gurudev's writing. Other names were typed. My name was written by Gurudev's handwriting. So the pencil, he used pencil to write my name. My name was last because I was not recommended. We don't have, that time I'm new, we don't have any big relation. I think we have physically met twice. But he knows this person's name is not in the list. I didn't go to complain. I didn't go to report to anybody. I didn't even know that my name was not there because I didn't go to look at the list. It was in the morning. I was going for Mangalati and I looked there because it's by the way to the temple room. And I looked and I saw my name was last in the list and Gurudev's writing. The tears were coming from my eyes. How he knows that my name is not there? How did he know me? I'm not a prominent person. I say guru. Not only that. So, like I was saying, we have many temples he established here in West Africa. And Nigeria, we have 9 of them. So one of them, deity was installed. That's in Port Harcourt. In Port Harcourt Temple, Sisirada Nandagram Chandra. And as soon as the deity was installed, we were talking about compassion. You should see in action. He was not in Nigeria, he was in the US, and he wrote a letter to me. Parashid, go to Port Harcourt and serve the deity. Why are you sending me to? You want to take my position? I have a very responsible service I'm doing here. He asked me to go to. There are many devotees there. He's sending me there. This is foolishness. This is how we think. When he's sending me to Port Harcourt, there are many devotees there. I'm irresponsibly serving here. Look at this wonderful service I'm doing. He didn't just ask me to go to Port Harcourt. He asked me, take one of, that time I was in the BBT shop. So he's take one of the devotees working with you to come and stay in Lagos. Then you go to Port Harcourt and serve the deities. The deities have been installed. Go and serve the deities. I didn't take it seriously. I took it externally. I didn't know the deep inside why he did that. But something happened. When I called for a devotee to come and stay for me, that was Nataraj. I called Nataraj for him to come and stay in Lagos for me. So he came to stay. So I made arrangement to leave. In the night, the Gurudeva appeared to me in a dream. What I saw, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he was glorifying Gurudev in Mayapur. And he mentioned, this man is not from this planet. It is 100% correct. It is 100% correct. He is not from here. He came from a different planet to come and assist us. He appeared. He was not standing on the ground. He was standing on the throne. He was not on the ground. So he spoke to me. I was trembling in the dream when I woke up after that. So I traveled to Port Harcourt and I was there serving the deities. I was in Toli. I was there for 1 month. It was a wonderful experience. And for those years, it was a wonderful experience. And a day before also my returning back to Lagos, a different wonderful experience. So one of the days I was there, I was writing a letter to Gurudev and begging him, please, Gurudev, I know I'm not a bona fide disciple and I'm not meeting up. So I'm begging you, please do not abandon me because of me useless. Don't abandon me. As I was writing, do not abandon me. I slept while I was writing that. I slept there. And I saw his big smile expanding before me. And he shouted, I will never abandon anybody. And I come back to center consciousness. I just signed the letter. I didn't complete it again. I just signed it and offered to him. This is Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami. I'm sorry I have gone too far. Let me stop here. Sorry, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaja ki jai.
Jai, thank you, Gurudev, for such a wonderful offering. And indeed, the way you said, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj is not from this planet, and he is very compassionate, and he's a true representative of Krishna. He never left his disciples. And somewhere I see those same qualities in you also. And thank you so much, Gurudev. And we are very fortunate that we are associated with you and as well as His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. Thank you, Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I sent all of you because he told me The assignment they gave to me to preach, because he knows that I don't like to talk. I don't want to preach. He knows that. So he shouted on me to preach. I was in Jagannath Puri. So you see that all of you came to me because you heard what I was saying. And that is what he did, and they brought all of you. So I'm happy all of you connected with him, because that is what he said. It's very, very important to follow what Guru said. That is where the blessing comes. We will become important when we follow the instructions. All right.
Yes, Gurudev, we definitely will be following your instructions. Thank you so much. So now, moving forward, I would like everyone present here on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube to join in for the Meditation 13 Reflection and Prayer by His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj from Beggar 1. So let us watch this video.
My dear Lord, today I heard that you put your devotees in distress because you want to make them glorious. When your devotee suffers, then later transcends, the accomplishment is much more appreciated. I have in the past considered you unfair, seeing the tribulations of your devotees. Although I have always been austere, I have not really understood anything about austerity. Now I am gradually appreciating how such tapasya positions one closer to an unconditional service platform. I am also appreciating that austerities and suffering can increase one's quality of service and understanding. Rama himself was, after all, encouraged to undergo austerities to bring about the creation. Lord Shiva is in a constant state of austere meditation on you. I reflect that in true love, suffering or any austerity performed for the lover is not taken as an inconvenience, nor an imposition. For one is eager to do whatever is necessary to enhance the welfare of the lover. As I lie here, waiting to sleep, my dear Lord Shyam, I am noticing how little love I have. If I possessed real love, I would be jumping at every opportunity to serve you, free of all envy and impersonalism. I know I am so far away from you, dear Lord, but in your pervasiveness, you are so near. Sometimes I become attracted to your different energies, momentarily forgetting that you are the source of all beauty and splendor. Is this distraction a sign of my lack of chastity? Dear Lord, as I drift off to sleep, I am praying to dream of you. Pushing my physical body aside with its enviousness and agitation, I shall search the three worlds, seeking your company and the company of your servants. I am praying that they will let me join them, and that perhaps I will wake up one day, a soul fully surrendered to you. Why not? I am already millions of lifetimes behind. I will look for signs of your devotees, even though when they see me, they will laugh in embarrassment, thinking, what right does such a contaminated fool have to join this transcendental brigade? Where is Narada Muni? Let me find him. Perhaps if I am sufficiently fortunate, I can convince him to take me into the presence of your pure devotees. And why not? After all, he gave his mercy to Mugwari the hunter, who was less sinful than I. I have heard that you are so kind that you look at the intentions of your servants and elevate contaminated service to a transcendental level. You took Putana as a mother, and even though she came to poison you, you gave her liberation in exchange for a few drops of breast milk. Dear Lord, perhaps even a fool like me, having no understanding of selfless service, who is envious of you and full of fear and doubt, still has a chance. Please take my maturely motivated submissions and extract what little love is there. I can appreciate that austerities and detachment are necessary to help one rise above the three modes. Becoming steady and not identifying with happiness or distress or the other relativities of this world, I can become a true candidate for the spiritual world. In the past, dear Lord, loaded with greed, I have constantly missed the wonderful mercy that you constantly pour on all your creation. How could I settle for a multitude of temporary pleasures? Now, my dear Lord Chum, maybe tonight you will allow me your direct association. Habituated to avoiding you, tired of rendering service to my insatiable senses, only by your unlimited causeless grace will I get out of this rut. Just as you overlook the real intention of Putana, you are so kind that you can overlook my contaminated state. Maybe tonight will be the night. Off I go, searching, knowing that one day I will meet you, although I am fully unworthy.
Thank you for such a nice prayers. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj is known for his prayers. He was a real visionary, and his prayers show us like how to surrender to Krishna and grow in a devotional path and become a devotee. Now I would like to go ahead with our event. We have a small presentation from Ghana Yatra. It's they have made a video on the Samadhi of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, which is in Ghana.
Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, from time immemorial, Krishna continues to have his causeless mercy upon us by sending to us his pure devotees who are his representatives to liberate us. These pure devotees are so most merciful that even after leaving their body, they continue to shower their mercy upon us. Perfect example is His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. As the popular expression goes, like father, like son, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj was an exemplary disciple of his spiritual master and spiritual father, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. As an amazing first-class disciple, his activities happen to be an offering to his spiritual master. This is the true meaning of perfection in Krishna consciousness, and that was one of the ways he chose to glorify his spiritual master. So, this explains why these great personalities, their bodies or ashes are preserved, buried or worshipped and remembered as a place of pilgrimage after they leave the planet. Thus, it is known as Guru Samadhi. With regards to the Samadhi, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami in his last days on the planet instructed that his Samadhi not only be established in India, but also in other places where he mostly preached. That is why, aside from Mayapur, India, there happen to be two more established in Gitanagari, USA, and Ghana, West Africa, Accra. His Samadhi in India contains the sacred ashes. Particularly, Maharaj Samadhi in ISKCON, Ghana, contains the last sacred dhoti you wear before leaving body. This samadhi is held dearly in the hearts of the devotees in West Africa and beyond. Most devotees never fail to pay their respectful obeisances, offer some prayers to him, and go around as parikram whenever they visit the temple. Devotees especially like to have some quality time there by doing their japa or chanting their gayatri. Others like to go there to perform specific services like cleaning, puja, kirtan, decorations, donations, renovations, etc. Thus, we can imagine how great and wonderful the Bhakti Tirtha Swami's Appearance Day and Disappearance Day becomes. As strongly advised by Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami, we must have an attitude of gratitude. We also desire and continue to pray to always have more attitude of gratitude to His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and all the Param Paramacharyas for giving us this wonderful mercy to be Krishna conscious. Also, with an attitude of gratitude, we thank Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami for these wonderful blessings and mercy enough to minimize the suffering of others. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaja ki Jai. His founder Jai, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Thank you, Ghana Yatra, for such a wonderful video. It was so much of efforts from your end to show each and everyone the Samadhi in Ghana, and it was new for so many of us. So thank you so much for giving us the darshan of Samadhi. Thank you, Prabhuji. And now moving on to our next speaker. We'll move on to our next speaker. His Grace Yadunath Das. His Grace Yadunath Prabhu is from Nigeria. He joined ISKCON many years ago and is a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami. Prabhu has served in temple management in various temples across Nigeria, but is currently the temple president at ISKCON Benin. He is also currently serving as a National Council Chairman of ISKCON Nigeria. Prabhu is mostly known for his dedication and enthusiasm when it comes to preaching and is always seen traveling across Nigeria purposely for engaging the youth in Harinam Sankirtan. So I would request Jagdish Prabhu to come forward and offer garland. Sorry, I would request Gaur Hari Prabhu to come forward and offer garland to His Grace Yadunath Das.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept this garland.
Thank you, Gaur Hari Prabhuji, for the garland. And now I would request His Grace Yadunath Das to give his offering.
Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to His Holiness Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shri Yakti Bhakti Dhira Damodara Tinamine Yati Shri Bhakti Tirtha Guna Bhavana Vartine Sarvada Sarva Bhaktanam Sarvaraksha Padayane Shri Radha Krishna Gaurange Gayasri Sarvada Prabhu Nityananda Kripamurti Pranamami Puna Puna Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shri Bhakti Tirtha Swami Tinamine Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupadaya Sitatmane Shri Gora Karuna Sakti Bhaktitai Tinamine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavande Pastatyade Satarine Vanchakapataro Vyasa Kripa Sindhubhyaya Vacha Paritana Pavani Bhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Srila Bhakti Damodara Goswami Maharaj, and to all the wonderful devotees, to the team who put up this program, and to all the devotees who are online participating in this program. It's a very special and very rare privilege for me to be in the midst of all great, wonderful devotees like you. And it is very much more also a special privilege to be given the opportunity to speak something about His Holiness Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Guru Maharaj. Of course, we have been told by the scriptures that the pure devotee is like a vast ocean. So to speak about the pure devotee is very difficult because you wouldn't know where to start and where to end. But somehow the other, we just have to enter and speak whatever we can say at a time. We have been meditating and we have heard so much about the compassion of His Holiness Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. And Gurudeva especially showed this compassion in so many ways. There's something burning in my heart, actually, that I really feel that no matter what happened, I should say this. Maybe if there's other time, then I can continue talking. Our scriptures, we are made to understand that He really heals who thinks that a Vaishnava dies. Although we are celebrating the auspicious disappearance of His Holiness Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, but Himself has demonstrated in so many ways, out of His compassion, that He is not without us, that He's still with us. One time I saw a picture of His Holiness Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, and I was appreciating that picture. Then a Sayansi came by my side. So I was telling, look at this picture, it's very beautiful of my Guru Maharaj. So he looked at me and smiled. And he said to me, this is not your Guru Maharaj. This is not Srila Krishnapad. So I was shocked because I'm not Srila Krishnapad very well. I've met him in so many times. I grew up knowing him. But I said, this is not Srila Krishnapad Maharaj. He said, yes, this is Bhakti Tirtha Swami. So I became more shocked because I have known His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj for years. You know, I was a small child growing up. You know, I was always close to him. I don't need somebody to tell me or to introduce him to me. So the Maharaj said, no, this is Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. So I said, how? What is the explanation? So he said that His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj once said that devotees who are serious in Krishna consciousness, the disciples who are serious, they will see him through His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami. So this immediately put to my mind that yes, it is true. His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj is there. He has not gone. We are seeing him through His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. And of course, all those of us who are connected to Maharaj, Bhakti Tirtha Swami, all those who have taken initiation from him, it means that you have your grandfather as your father, and you also have your father, which is Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, as your father, because he's carrying the spirit of His Holiness Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. So out of the compassion and the benevolence of His Holiness Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj, he manifests himself through His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. And of course, we also saw this compassion when he was about to disappear from this material world. Before leaving, he gave us His Holiness Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj out of his compassion, so that we can continue to see him by looking at and seeing Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. And of course, Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj actually was very, very mystical in so many ways. This morning, I just told my wife such a prayer that I was going to speak something about our Guru Maharaj. And he said to me, please say this little thing on my behalf. She said that many a times when His Holiness Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj is coming to Ghana, to the Ayatra, Unkoko, many times they don't have, sometimes Lashmi is not there to arrange things. And as we know, anytime Maharaj is coming, Srila Gurudeva is coming to any Yatra, devotees that have not come for years, you will see them. He's so mystical that then there was no telephone, or in another word, it was only landline. Not everybody had access to landline. Even some of our temples didn't have a phone. So to make a call, sometimes we have to go out of the temple to make call. But if Gurudeva was coming, all the devotees we have not seen for the past 1 year, they will come. The temple will be very full. So she was telling me that then they begin to meditate. How are they going to get money to arrange prasadam for devotees? But somehow or the other, by Guru's special mercy, Krishna will arrange. So much will be brought to the devotees, so much will come, and it will be a festival. Every single person is happy. Devotees are taking prasadam, they are happy. More and more devotees keep coming. This was one way in which Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaja demonstrated his mysticism. We don't need to call devotees to inform them that Gurudeva was coming. At the same time, even if there was no means at the time to arrange for devotees, but because Gurudeva is coming, somehow or the other, something will happen, so much money will come. We also saw this in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Lila with his mother. Sometime he told the mother, Mataji, I will be coming home today with so many science friends. But the Mataji, Sachimata was not having anything in the house. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested that the mother should make so much prasad, so that the sciences friends can have prasad. And somehow or the other, Mataji will just go into the ashram, and she made so much prasad. She didn't keep prasadam there, she didn't have prasadam, but somehow or the other, she had so much prasadam to distribute. So Srila Krishna Pad also demonstrated this kind of mysticism when he was physically present with devotees. We saw also that special psychic ability. My own biological father is Grace Chieftaincy title. So he heard and came to the temple, believed Gurudeva on the Assam giving class. So he went to obeisances. So like Gurudeva asked him, introduce. So Gurudeva smiled and said to chief to any other person, you're already a chief. So Indrajum Prabhu was so shocked, he began to ask himself, who told him I wanted to become chief? Actually, his mind was, immediately after the class, he would go upstairs, meet Gurudeva in the ashram, and explain to him that he had the desire of becoming chief. But that was the first thing Gurudeva asked him when he offered his obeisances. So it was a big shock for him. And of course, the compassion of Srila Gurudeva was such that when he comes around, and sometimes some devotees are not physically present, then he will ask, and he will always call with all due respect. We call, Parishit? Yes, Guru Maharaj. What is so and so devotee? We say, oh, Gurudeva is not been around for some time. Gurudeva said, please go look for him. Send some devotees, go look for him. And it was so mystical that immediately devotees will step out to go look for the missing devotee. They will just find this devotee very easily, of which there was no means before to reach that devotee. Nobody knows where that devotee stays. But because Lakshmanapa said, go look for this devotee, immediately the devotee set out looking for this devotee. They will just find this devotee to their amazement. Without so much stress, they will find this devotee. So the Gurudeva was very inspiring in all that he did. Every bit of his life was an inspiration. When Srila Gurudeva enters into the kirtan floor, if you do not sweat, it means that you were not in that kirtan. If you are dead, you will come to life. So like Gurudeva will bring a dead body to life in kirtan. Every single person in the hall, he will dance with you. And every single devotee begin to sweat. so much sweat will be there. And of course, Srila Gurudeva is so compassionate that he saw the situation of the people in this time of Kali Yuga. Just like Srila Vyasadeva, he foresaw Kali Yuga and he saw the problems that were going to be there. And he divided the one Veda. Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, he saw that in this present moment, there are so many types of problems. People are not categorically interested in reading scriptures. So he turned the scriptures, reproduce them in such a way that it can fit in to the present situation. And he gave us such a book like Solace for the Heart in Difficult Time, Spiritual Warrior 6. This is a very difficult time in the human society. So many things happening. There is terrorism, there is fanaticism, and there is war. One time recently, I was invited by the Universal Peace Confederation to speak something about peace. I don't have any knowledge. I don't know anything. I just went through Spiritual Warrior 6 and I found just a page. I just copied few things and I went there and delivered. At the end of my presentation, the organizers, the UPF team, they came to me and said, please, humble request, we want to make you a Universal Peace Ambassador. I was shocked. What did I say? What do I know? I only speak for few things, much things that has been given by His Holiness, the Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. But these people were so touched that to appreciate that speech, they made me a Universal.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you're muted.
The benevolence of His Holiness. Can I be heard?
Yes,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhu.
can I be? Okay. So,
yes,
as
Prabhu.
I was saying, so I was trying to say that Srila Krishna, out of his benevolence, to solve the present human problems, he gave us so many books, one of which was Spiritual Warrior 6, Solace for the Heart in Difficult Times. And one of the days I was invited to a conference, UPF, Universal Peace Confederation, to speak something little about peace. Somehow or the other, I spoke very little things, very little from Gurudev's book. And the people were so pleased that they came to me and said, please, sir, we want to make you a Universal Peace Ambassador. I was sure I didn't say anything. I only made few lines from what Srila Krishna Pada has given. But the people were so affected that they were showing gratitude and they want to make me a peace ambassador. So Srila Krishna Pada is the Universal Peace Ambassador. He touched the heart of so many people, and till today he is still close to many of us. The preaching system in ISKCON today, with all due respect to all the wonderful preaching devotees in ISKCON, many devotees learned systematic and organized preaching from the books and seminars of His Holiness Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. One year, 2009 to be precise, I was in India and I went to IIT Kharagpur with His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. So he spoke to the students, and after speaking, we went back to the ashram and I took a pen. I was trying to put down some of the things I heard from him. Then he came to me, he said, Yadunat Prabhu. I said, yes, Prabhuji. He said, what are you doing? I said, Prabhu, I'm just trying to put down some of the things you said. He said, oh, Prabhu, whatever I said is from your Guru Maharaj only. I didn't say anything. It was just from your Guru Maharaj only. I said, oh, wow, Prabhu, thank you very much. So in a simple language, Srila Gurudev has been very helpful to the human society, that even though he's not physically present, we can still feel his presence in so many ways. He has given us personality like His Holiness, the Bhakti Tirtha Damodara Swami Maharaj. And I have been told that if you want to see Srila Krishna Pad, just look at Bhakti Tirtha Damodara Swami and you will see him. I was not just told by the ordinary person. It was a statement made to me by a science. And of course, Srila Bhakti Tirtha Prabhupada made some preaching, teaching the 64 principles, which it gave the same title, and it summarized everything into four. The four principles for community building. Number one, he said, anytime there is a problem in the relationship, we should first see ourselves as the one at fault, because if we try to see somebody else to be at fault, we are only expanding the problem. And number two says, we should treat everyone we encounter as if the success or failure of our spiritual life depends on the quality of our interaction with them. And number three, he said, we should think of persons we love the most and inspire to treat everyone with that same quality of love. And number four principle says, we should realize that the people in our present environment might very well be the people we will live out our life, and will likely be the people with us at the time of death. So in these four principles, Srila Gurudeva created a universal oneness, of which if the universe is this principle, there will be people taking. I want to use this day to appreciate my Guru Maharaj for all that he has given to us in form of his teachings, his life example, and the person he has left for us, in whom we shall constantly see him. I want to pray fervently from my heart to Srila Gurudev that he bless me, that I become an instrument in supporting his mission and supporting whatever is there that His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Damodara Swami Maharaj is doing in his own Guru mission. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for your wonderful offering. We really agree on this, that His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj is a universal peace ambassador. Also, as you said, that we can see His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Damodara Swami representing His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami, and we really agree on that, because we experience it. So, and thank you so much for your offering. Now we'll move on to the next part of our event, and that is very interesting, because now we have finished with the disciple offering. Now the grand disciples would like to give offering. So I would, so Her Grace Raslila Mataji from the USA, she was not able to join in today, but she has sent her video offering. So I would request the tech team to show the video offering.
Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaja Iti Namine. Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Ashitatmane Shri Guru Karna Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Iti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Guruvani Pracharini Nivarsita Sunyavadi Pachatari Shatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for the opportunity to be here with you today. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to be with you live in person. However, I'm honored and so appreciative of the service opportunity. We're here again celebrating Maharaja's glories. I remember very, very vividly as a child growing up in Ghana, West Africa. Whenever he would come, most of the time we would go on Harinams through the neighboring villages, and a lot of times would would come back from Harinam, it could be a few devotees on Harinam, but then would come back with, multiple members of the village and community with us, where we would take in prasad and kirtan and katha and wonderful association with Maharaj. Maharaj's enthusiasm, his dedication to Srila Prabhupada is what's most memorable for me personally. It's helped me to continue to dive into Krishna consciousness, and a class that he gave recently, not so long ago, where he stated that every moment, every single day, we have to rejoin the movement, which means that we have to revisit our vows that we took at initiation, which means that we have to revisit the commitment, the enthusiasm we felt with devotees, the service attitude. We have to revisit the moments that we felt Krishna's mercy, because it's always there. Maharaj is always in the now, in the present, and recognizing Krishna's mercy every moment. And here is a short writing from Beggar 2, where Maharaj says, and this is a shortened version of it, and Maharaj says here, "Dear Srila Prabhupada, even today you remain a spiritual ambassador, fully commissioned by the Supreme Lord Himself to distribute so much love, mercy, and compassion that you are empowered to save even such incorrigible and unsaved souls as myself. Please do not give up on me, but continue to perform the miracle of making this insane soul sane. Please also continue reclaiming the other fallen, blinded, and lost members of my family. Please forgive our dullness and our craziness. I am most unworthy. Still, I am sincerely begging that you continue to save me, even though I am an ungrateful receiver. All glories to His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, and all glories to you all. My prayer is that today we come together and continue to come together in the service of Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, when the world needs us the most. Thank you all once again. Jai Vaishnav Thakur. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for a heartfelt offering. Now we would like to invite His Grace Chaitanya Bhagavat Prabhu from Ghana to give his offering.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. We would like you to give your offering.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Om Agyanam Trimanandasya Gyanam Janashlakaya Chakshumalitam Yana Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. Nam Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutala Shiyate Bhakti Nam Damodara Islam Yati Shri Bhakti Tirtha Swami Bhavana Savara Sava Bhaktanam Savaraksha Pradaya Shri Krishna Goranga Vaisi Savara Bhavu Netanana Kripamoti Panamami Punapanahanam Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Tirtha Swami Namne Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shtapmani Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhakti Swami Nam Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishishna Bhari Prashtacharya Satarine. Hare Krishna. I beg you to offer my respectful obeisances to Srila Gurudeva as to speak his blessings and mercies, to attempt to speak a drop of the shoreless ocean of Param Gurudeva, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. With head down, face pale, I am embarrassed to speak about your divine tale. What is there to say when I fail to fix my consciousness and activities on a sacred trail you have led for us to follow? As I attempt to speak about you, I feel like a pretender, trying to co-create and recreate a reality that is full of faults. What at all can this ignorant, conditioned soul have to say of your divine grace? Therefore, I humbly pray, O Patita Pavan, that you may, out of your own causeless mercy, allow this wretch say something that may be beneficial to everyone and also for our own purification. Speak a tinge of your glories. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj is known by many devotees for his special expertise in all aspects of Krishna consciousness. His heart-piercing lectures, his superhuman book distribution records, his sweet kirtans, his energetic and gracious dancing, his first-class Pujari Seva, his intellectual and dynamic writings, and so much more. Maharaj became such an all-round devotee due to his attitude of gratitude in service to Srila Prabhupada. He consciously approached every service as an opportunity to offer himself as a token of appreciation and also as an instrument for the pleasure of his beloved spiritual master. I have heard from Srila Gurudeva mentioned several times that one special quality Param Gurudeva had that he admired so much was Maharaj never had a dull moment. He was always up to something. Maharaj consciously knew that every time, every moment was a chance to show his love for Srila Prabhupada and Krishna by extending the love to anyone he crossed paths with. Maharaj's attitude towards service was a power that affects the heart of everyone who is fortunate enough to have his divine association. Maharaj was an expert in making the Shastra personified. Devotees base all activities on the principle of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Oftentimes, devotees practically regard Guru and Sadhu as personified, but not the latter. But Maharaja was such an experienced preacher that he knew the art of embodying the Shastras through his own personal life. He never approached or preached the Shastras as a mere theoretical treatise, but a practical and scientific approach to solving problems in all respects to life. Maharaja knew how to use the scriptures to solve material problems with spiritual solutions. Maharaj was the personification of humility. He perfected the art of using humility as a tool to chastise and glorify. Being bold yet submissive, Maharaj knew when to be the lion and when to be the lamb. And this was a very rare quality. Throughout his service as an ISKCON leader, he showed that simplicity without duplicity is a necessity in our spiritual society. Maharaja lived his life in austerity, teaching through his own personal practice the science to die before dying. Anything he taught or said, he himself did. To show us Krishna consciousness is practical in all respects, Param Gurudeva showed us knowledge is power, but superior to knowledge is character. Maharaj lived on the principle that his character became his preaching, but not just his words. We are all able to perceive all these transcendental qualities through our most beloved Gurudeva, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami, who out of his own love and gratitude for Param Gurudeva has allowed himself to be a transparent medium of Param Gurudeva's mode of service or attitude of gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, dearest Param Gurudeva, for sending us your beloved son to connect us to the mode of service to the divine couple. Please do not take seriously our dullness and offenses on this childish grandson of yours, and continue to give us service in association of your unalloyed devotees. Please, may you continue to bless us that one day we may develop the mood of attitude of gratitude. Jai Jagaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Param Gurudeva Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaja ki jai, Srila Gurudeva ki jai. Hare Krishna. Your servant Chaitanya Bhagavad Das.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a very nice offering. And His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj has so many qualities, and he's preached through his practical application. And you're absolutely right. We should also develop the mood. So thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Now I would like to present a video, The Ultimate Prayer of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj.
I want to ask all of you, along with myself, if you feel uncomfortable, you feel imposed upon, I apologize. I'm not interested in just preaching at any time. I try to preach to convince and to transform. Because my feeling is that we are all to be slaves of Srila Prabhupada. Not just servants, but slaves. And therefore, we know Prabhupada's mercy is huge. And we don't want to embarrass him by being mediocre or by being stagnant or sabotaging his mercy coming through. So I would like us all to make a prayer that whatever things that we need to personally experience to be able to become a greater servant of Srila Prabhupada's mission, that these things speed up in our lives. And the other part of this prayer is whatever we need to have taken away in our lives in order to be a more fit servant of Srila Prabhupada's mission at this time on the planet, that happens. Let me just go over that again, and I'm stopping now. That we'd like as many of you as possible, as we're chanting, yes, we're chanting we're chanting the mantra, and everything is there. But Krishna says, always think of me. And Vandanam, prayer, is an essential part of the Angas of Bhakti. And we see Srila Narottam Das explains 10 special types of prayers that Vaishnavas make. Sometimes we minimize the potency of daily prayer. Then what does our mind do in all the other times? We got to be mindful, chanting out loud, chanting internally, prayerful, constantly, coming before the Lord in a mindful state. I'm presenting myself. We'd like as many of you as possible to make this prayer. Whatever that's necessary to help us to become a better servant in Prabhupada's mission, that whatever things are necessary, it doesn't matter. What it means we get sick, whether we die soon, whether we lose money, whether our husband leave, our wife leave, whether we become infamous, whatever that will help us individually to be a better servant of Srila Prabhupada, that we pray that will happen and will speed up, and whatever things need to be taken away, that we pray that it be taken away. It doesn't matter. Whatever is genuinely going to help us individually in this lifetime to speed up our ability to receive the Lord in this big way, so that we create more and more the community that gradually becomes just more and more like the spiritual world. Prabhupada has given us embassies all over the world in these temples, and he is a major ambassador, and he ain't gone. He's just physically in a situation, but he is more concerned than ever before. Isn't it natural that when you are a caretaker, you are concerned even more when you're not around about how things are dealt with? How many are willing to make that prayer? We're in front of the Lord. Yes. If you're not, it's up to you. We're ready. So we are accepting that at this time the bar has gone up for our movement all around the world, and we're accepting that we are going to upgrade ourselves. This is wonderful, because as each of us increase our devotion, it becomes easier for every devotee. Every time there is acceleration in individual's consciousness, it creates a greater support system to enhance the bhakti. Every time a devotee deviates, it brings more static in the culture of devotion. So the prayer you have just made will assist us all in being better servants by bettering ourselves.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes. So it was such a powerful prayer. So we would like to increase our standards, increase our bar, and enhance our bhakti by following this prayer. So thank you, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. And now we are almost at the end of our session. So we would like to show the quiz results. So for question one, third place we have His Grace Kamita Prabhuji. Second place, we have Nidhivan Mataji. And first place, we have Jagan Nivas Prabhuji. Congratulations to all of you. For question 2, in the third place, we have Sayashri Mataji. In second place, we have Dhananjay Prabhuji. And first place, we have Vani Narsimha Mataji. Congratulations, all three of you. For question 3, at the third place, we have Jagan Nivas Prabhu. Second place, Vanshika Mataji. First place, Vani Narsimha Mataji. Again, congratulations. And the fourth question, our winner for the third question is, winner at third place is Induleka Mataji. Second place is Vani Narsimha Mataji. And first place is Sakshi Mataji. Congratulations to all of you. And now let's go through the tomorrow's schedule. We will be celebrating His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Damodara Swami's Vyas Puja tomorrow. So there are 2 sessions. So there is lots of interesting things we have in these sessions. So we request all the devotees to join in tomorrow. First, we will have blessings and wishes from senior devotees. Then we will be having a special drama quiz, followed by video offering from ISKCON Gorakhpur. And then we have Vyas Puja offerings by all the disciples. And we have video offering by Ghana Yatra. And last and the best is the cake offering from all the world. So stay tuned and join in tomorrow for the afternoon session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank all of you very much. Wish you all the best, the blessings from His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. I will see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you, all the devotees. Thank you, everyone, for your presence. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami's disciples, grand disciples, everybody, thank you so much for your presence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Have you ever seen somebody in whose heart there's so much purity? Have you ever seen somebody in whose heart there's so much love? Have you ever seen somebody whose life is all austerity? When he smiles, you smile. When he cries, you feel his love for Radhesham. When he smiles, you smile. When he cries, you feel his love for Radhesham. Swami Bhakti Tirtha Krishna Pad Jaya Swami Bhakti Tirtha Krishna Pad Jaya Swami Bhakti Tirtha Krishna Pad Jaya Swami Bhakti Tirtha Krishna Pad. Have you ever met somebody? Well, he talks in sweet melody. Have you ever seen somebody whose glass is full of mercy? Have you ever seen somebody who is splendid like the moonlight? And Tirtha Krishna Pad Jaya Swami Bhakti Tirtha Krishna Pad Jaya Swami Bhakti Tirtha Krishna Pad Jaya Swami Bhakti Tirtha Krishna Pad Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gura Bhaktavrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Jai Radhe Jai Shyam Jai Jai Vrindavan Dham Jai Jai Radhe Jai Shyam Jai Jai Vrindavan Dham Jai Jai Radhe Jai Shyam Jai Jai Vrindavan Dham Jai Jai Radhe Jai Shyam Jai Jai Vrindavan Dham Gudakesha Samadashi Tatadashi Paramahamsa Gudakesha Samadashi Tatadashi Paramahamsa Gudakesha Tatadashi Paramahamsa Swami Bhakti Tirtha Krishna Pad Jaya Swami Bhakti Tirtha Krishna Pad Jaya Swami Bhakti Tirtha Krishna Pad Jaya Swami Bhakti Tirtha Krishna Pad
In order to really break all of the necessary shackles, then one has to enter into a divine madness. The sweetness of I'm all yours, Krishna, and you're all